To worship you I live. To worship you I live.
Hello there. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I want us to just talk about a topic I've tagged enforcing boundaries with our children. Boundaries are very important in different levels of relationship, and that includes children. When we talk about boundaries, we're talking in terms of the limit within an area. And in terms of enforcing boundaries with our children, it's about our children understanding within the family unit what is expected of them, what is not expected of them. And I think it's very unfair as parents for us not to have explained the lines of boundaries or what we expect of our children. And if those lines are crossed, for us to expect them to face the consequences of not keeping to the lines of boundaries, I think it'd be very unfair. In terms of enforcing boundaries with our children, it's important as a family we explain what our expectations as parents are. Take for instance, you have teenagers. They need to know what boundaries are around going out with friends, what time they're expected to be back, what the protocols around when they go out is. For instance, if they go out and they are running late, or probably they change where they intend to go to for whatever reason, you expect the children to call in and say, "Mom, Dad, this is where I'm going. Sorry, I have to divert. We need to go here, and this is the reason." It's important that our children have boundaries. The reason for that is boundaries keep children, it gives them a sense of safety. It gives them a sense of grounding. It also gives them a sense of responsibility where they can take personal responsibility for their actions. And in us enforcing boundaries, in explaining to our children, it's vital that they also know what the consequences for such violation of the boundaries are going to be. For example, you have young children who are, say, age 5, age 10, maybe on Saturday mornings, and you said, "You know what, you don't come downstairs until you've laid your bed, until your bed is intact or your room is intact, it's tidy because it's the weekend, and I expect you to make sure that your room is tidy." So when we're talking in terms of boundaries obviously is going to differ in terms of their development. You don't expect the same boundaries for a 2-year-old to be the same for a 10-year-old. You understand your children more, you know what you expect within the family unit. It's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that that is duly explained. And in terms of enforcing these boundaries, you need to know how far you go with boundaries. Because the reason why you're enforcing boundary in the first instance is for children to have a sense of what is right from what is wrong. And when the consequences are being enforced with your children, you want to make sure that, number one, they understand what they've done wrong. Number two, they understand in reflection why they've done it wrong and they're able to correct their ways. And number three, you want them to realize that they are loved and that the correction or the consequence is because they are loved. It's very unfair for you as a parent to take your frustrations out on your children. I know sometimes as parents we get emotional, but it's very important that you're not reactive. Because as a parent, when you get reactive in enforcing boundaries, then you begin to attack the person and the personality of your child, which obviously is damaging their self-esteem. Like I said earlier on, you want them to realize what they've done wrong, what it is that obviously led them to do what they've done, to have that reflection. Because you want to promote their self-esteem, you want them to know that they are loved. And you want them to grow up to be a responsible individual, so that when they grow up as adults as well, they're able to, within their own personal management, they know what is expected of themselves and what is not expected of themselves. They should have expectation of themselves in their behavior. Our society today is filled of people that are misbehaving or breaking the law because they have not stayed within the boundaries, either that was set for them or probably that wasn't set for them. I hope today that God is going to help us as parents to help our children to know that whatever we do in enforcing boundaries, and when I mean what you do is what is acceptable within the law. It's not acceptable to damage your children. It's not acceptable to do things that are hurting to your children or physically hurtful to them. I pray that God will help you as you raise your children and as you enforce the right boundaries with them. God bless you.